At 38, I crossed paths with Lisa. She was 33 at the time, a divorcee with a 9-year-old daughter named Mia. I wasn't looking for anything serious. My heart was still tender from a recent breakup, and I had no interest in diving back into commitment. But Lisa was different. She had this undeniable spark, a presence that pulled me in. Her charisma, her intelligence, the way she carried herself, it all made me stop and reevaluate. We didn't rush things. It started slow, cautious, careful. But within a year I found myself all in. Lisa was witty, stunning, and fiercely devoted to her daughter. Mia was understandably cautious around me. I never tried to be her father, didn't force a role. I simply showed up, at her soccer games, school meetings when she was sick, and every recital she invited me to. I stayed consistent, and over the years something shifted. One day in her teens she called me Pops for the first time. I remember the lump in my throat. It meant everything. Lisa and I never made our relationship official on paper. Her past marriage had made her wary of legal commitments. I respected that. We still built a life together, a shared home, joint finances, routines, dreams. I truly believed we were solid. Then last autumn things started to change. She began staying out late more often. Her phone, once left casually on the table, became something she guarded closely. Her mood shifted too. Small things irritated her, and distance crept in where warmth used to be. I told myself it was probably stress, or maybe she was struggling with Mia's move to college. I stayed supportive, hopeful it would blow over. One morning while she was in the shower, her phone lit up. I glanced over, expecting some work-related notification. Instead, I saw a message from someone saved as R. It read, "Can't stop thinking about last night. Wish you were here." My stomach dropped. Still, I didn't say anything right away. I needed to be sure. So I watched, quietly gathering evidence. Receipts from hotel stays, lunch outings that didn't match her schedule, business trips that seemed fabricated. When I finally laid it all out in front of her, expecting denial or regret, she didn't flinch. Arms crossed, voice cold, she told me she hadn't felt truly alive in years. Robert, a coworker, made her feel wanted again. 15 years together, and she spoke as if I had been a weight she was relieved to cast off. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't argue. I told her I was done, packed my things, and left. Not long after, Mia called. She'd always been close to her mother, but what she said cut deeper than anything. "I know you're hurting," she told me, "but maybe it's time Mom finds her happiness. And, you weren't even married." I could hardly find the words to respond. "So 15 years mean nothing without a marriage certificate?" I asked. Her response was soft, indifferent. "It's just how life works, Pops. People move on." That name, once full of affection, now felt hollow. I moved a couple of towns away and started over. I found a small place of my own. The first few months were heavy with silence. I questioned my place in their lives. Had I ever really mattered to them? But slowly the fog began to lift. Without the constant unease, the unspoken suspicions, the emotional minefields, I began to breathe differently. I took up woodworking, something I'd always admired from afar but never tried. I got a bike and started cycling early in the mornings. I reconnected with old friends I'd lost touch with over the years. I even went on a few dates, nothing serious, just enough to remind myself that I was still alive, still desirable. Then, about a month ago, Mia reached out. She sent a message apologizing. She admitted she'd been wrong, that she hadn't truly appreciated what I'd done for them until I was gone. I didn't respond. A week later, Lisa messaged me. She said Robert had been nothing more than a fling. He hadn't wanted anything lasting. She told me she was seeing a therapist now, trying to figure things out, and that she missed me. She wanted to see if we could find our way back. But I didn't answer her either. Because here's the truth, I gave them everything I had. My loyalty, my time, my love. And when things got hard, they didn't just hurt me, they discarded me. Treated me like a chapter they were ready to close. And I'm not angry anymore. I'm not holding on to bitterness. I'm simply done. And in that finality I found something unexpected: freedom. The kind of freedom that doesn't come with rage or revenge, but with release. A year has passed since I walked away from what I thought was my forever. Healing is strange, it comes in waves. Some days the ache returns, sharp and vivid. But more often now I wake up light. At peace. And that feeling, that's mine to keep. It doesn't even feel like my own story anymore. More like a tale that belongs to someone else, some distant character in a book I once read. When everything came crashing down, I kept the messages from Lisa and Mia to myself. I didn't want advice or commentary from people who didn't know the full picture. I had made peace in my own way. But small towns have a way of keeping secrets like sieves, loose and leaky. Word got around. Lisa's life unraveled not long after. Turns out Robert, the man she had left everything for, had another woman, a pregnant girlfriend Lisa knew nothing about. The girlfriend showed up at Lisa's workplace with proof, made a scene in front of everyone. Lisa was reprimanded, her reputation in tatters. They didn't fire her, but they might as well have. She was quietly pushed into a dull, irrelevant office role. Same paycheck, no real authority, no circle of friends left. And then a few weeks back, Mia appeared at my door. I saw her through the peephole and hesitated before finally opening it. She looked tired, not older exactly, but like she'd been carrying too much for too long. Without a word, she handed me a coffee, black, 2 sugars. She hadn't forgotten. We sat on the porch. She didn't try to defend her actions or smooth over the past. She just admitted she'd put her mother on a pedestal so high, she couldn't see the cracks. It wasn't until I left that she realized just how much of me she'd taken for granted. She said I'd been the steady one all along, the one who didn't waver. I was still. I was reliable. I was her anchor, and she hadn't seen it until the anchor was gone. She told me she'd been angry, not at me but at the truth, at the possibility that her mother might have been more selfish than she'd ever imagined. It was easier to make me the villain. I looked at her, really looked, and saw the little girl who used to fall asleep during late-night movies with her head on my chest, the same girl I taught to ride a bike, the one who cried until she couldn't breathe when her first boyfriend broke her heart. You told me to move on, I said. She looked away. I shouldn't have. You were young, I replied. You didn't know. Then she asked if we could get coffee again sometime. I gave her a half smile, not cold, just real. Not now, I said. And I meant it. The door to my life isn't locked, but it's not swinging open either. Forgiveness isn't about rebuilding. It's about releasing the weight for your own sake, not because someone has earned it. Letting go doesn't mean welcoming them back in. Lisa still reaches out every now and then. A message here, a holiday greeting there. I don't reply. Maybe she thinks I'm waiting, biding my time until I return. But I'm not. I'm not her safety net, not the fallback option she runs to when the thrill fades and she remembers comfort. My silence says everything that needs to be said. No drama, no bitterness, just space. That space is mine. One afternoon not long ago, I wandered into a little bookstore tucked between a bakery and a bike shop. I was thumbing through a woodworking magazine when I accidentally bumped into a woman. She looked about my age, maybe early 40s, in paint-splattered jeans and worn sneakers, with a warm, easy smile that didn't ask anything of me. We talked about books, dogs, little quirks of life. Before she left, she said, "My studio's just around the corner. Drop by sometime." Her name was Erin. Like Erin Brockovich, she joked, but instead of fighting corporations, she fought blank canvases with color. I didn't visit right away. I wasn't avoiding it, just letting things be. Then one day I was walking past her studio and stopped. Through the window I saw her working, brush in hand, colors everywhere. Her art was wild and imperfect and beautiful, like it had something to say and didn't care if anyone understood. I stepped inside. She looked up and grinned. "Took you long enough." We talked for hours that day, music playing softly in the background, wood shavings scattered on her workbench. No past weighing us down, no expectations. Just two people existing in the same moment. It felt light. It felt easy. We've had a few coffees since then. She's met a couple of my friends. I don't call her my girlfriend. She hasn't asked me to. We're not rushing, not labeling. Just moving forward in honest, quiet moments. Last week, Lisa emailed me. A long message full of self-reflection and therapy quotes, talk of healing and personal growth. She wanted to meet for closure. I thought about it, and then I hit delete. Some people ask for closure not because they want peace, but because they want an open door again. They want relief from guilt. I don't owe her that. Mia still checks in sometimes. A dog video. A photo of her college dorm with my old books stacked on the shelf. She hasn't called me Pops again. Maybe she never will. That's fine. I'm not waiting for things to go back. Not every scar fades completely. Some stay. They remind you of where you've been, what not to tolerate, who not to chase. They guide you, not haunt you. I don't carry anger anymore. I don't need apologies. I don't fantasize about revenge or being proven right. If I saw Lisa tomorrow in the street, I'd nod politely and keep walking. That's what real freedom looks like. Not a dramatic confrontation, but a quiet man riding his bike on a Sunday, earbuds in, breeze on his face, no destination but peace. That's enough. That's everything.